What is up, Sooner Nation? I am Casey Mallon, and you are now, come on, get with me, in a Sooner state of mind. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Amazon Music. If mercy's a business, I wish it for you. More than just ashes when your dreams come true. Sooner state of mind, family. What is good? I've got some news that is going to totally stoke you out. But we've got some business to take care of first. You guys remember last offseason? No. Trick question. Of course not, because there was no offseason. It seemed like every other week there was breaking news for Sooner Nation, the season that never ended. And so far this offseason, put offseason in air quotes, the news cycle has been nonstop. Last time we met, we were a little sad to learn that Jay Valai was taking his talents to the NFL, joining Joe Brady's staff with the Buffalo Bills. But the news isn't all bad. The Sooners hiring Michigan assistant coach Lamar Morgan to be the program's next defensive backs coach. Morgan spent the last 2 seasons with Michigan, who's had one of the better defenses in the nation over that time. He was the DB's coach and the passing game coordinator. Hopped around a little bit, 2 seasons at University of Louisiana as the DC, and spent a little time Vandy and Louisiana Monroe and Houston, and then eventually Vanderbilt for 1 season. And it's not like this cat is coming into an empty cupboard. No, sirree, not at all. Eli Bowen, Cortland Guillory, they're back. OU's defense was ranked 32nd last year in passing yards allowed. Sooners have brought in some more transfer portal players. Got Bowen, Guillory, stocked people. Morgan is the second assistant hired this offseason. You might remember the Sooners added Jason Witten to the mix earlier in the season, or in the offseason, to replace Jon Finley. That's got to be it, right? Right? Wrong. You would be wrong. Not so fast, my friend. Former Oklahoma running backs coach DeMarco Murray accepted a job to be the new running backs coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. DeMarco, 6-season tenure at OU as running backs coach. Joined Tebow before Tebow was Tebow. Stayed with the squad after BV took over. Pretty good results from DeMarco here. Put a few backs in the NFL and has recruited very strongly. And you go back to 2022, Sooners, conference best, over 219 rushing yards per game. Those were the days, people. And in that year, Eric Gray rushed for almost 1,400 yards. And in DeMarco's first couple of seasons, OU's backs were averaging almost 5.5 per carry, combining for 37 touchdowns. Remember Kennedy Brooks? You heard him being called at the top of the show. He had over 1,200 yards in 2021. Ramondre Stevenson, you might remember him from, the Super Bowl. He was almost 111 rushing yards a game. DeMarco has done a pretty good job with the running backs room. And he's had many a suitor over the last couple of seasons. First, it was Ohio State, the Ohio State Buckeyes trying to poach our guy. And then it was Penn State that came a-calling. And DeMarco gave the stiff arm to both of those programs. But when Big Red, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs came a-calling, they were finally able to pry Coach Murray away from our Sooners. He's going to join offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes, you might have heard of that guy. And DeMarco's got a chance to revive that Kansas City running game. Last year, Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco, they were good, but not the production that the Chiefs need to give some balance to that offense. The rushing attack has really fallen off in the last few years. Last year, ranked 24th in the league. It will be up to DeMarco Murray to get them back to respectability, or at least to the middle of the pack. Some mock drafts have Jeremiah Love going to the Kansas City Chiefs. That would help Coach D in that one for sure. And as with every coach, every player, anybody that doesn't kick butt 100% of the time becomes a polarizing figure with Sooner Nation, catching the ire of a lot of those people, if you will. But much like the Chiefs last couple seasons, the Sooners rushing attack has not performed as expected. Now, we talked about it. Recruiting hasn't been an issue for DeMarco Murray. He's got some of the highest ranked talent to OU, including most recently Taylor Tatum. But that cat's not really been able to get on the field. He's had some injuries, and then we're not sure what else is going on with that situation. He gone. So DeMarco's gotten those players to OU, but the results have not followed. A lot of people question this cat's running back rotations, why some guys are in there, why some guys aren't. You know, is there a rhyme or reason why he's done it the way he has? Sometimes, I don't know. Didn't feel like there really was. Maybe he had a method to his madness. But I think what's been questioned most is his ability to develop the top talent. We've not really seen that the last few years. And then players we had that we thought were good, they've left, and then they've shown that ability to produce elsewhere. That's left Sooner Nation feeling kind of raw. And then going into last season, Sooners go out and get the prize out of the transfer portal from Cal, Jaden Ott. Very productive back before he got injured. And then this dude never got on the field for the Sooners. Now, there's been a lot of speculation as to why that was the case. Coaching staff has still remained tight-lipped about that. But that frustration and ire that Sooner Nation was feeling resurfaced the week of the Senior Bowl, when Ott was very productive, had some B-roll out there in pass pro doing a great job. And a lot of people were like, WTF, what's going on with that? Why didn't we see any of that in the season? Especially how banged up we were at the running back position. Got nothing out of Barnes, nothing out of Tatum, Rob, and Blaylock giving everything they possibly could, playing injured the whole year. And none of these other dudes could get on the field. Head scratching, to say the least. So there's a lot of mixed feelings among Sooner Nation about Coach Murray staying or leaving. So we'll find out. You know, the Sooners haven't produced a 1,000-yard running back since 22 in that season when they led the league in rushing. And it was Eric Gray that was so productive, but that cat was also a transfer portal addition, came over from Tennessee. So it's been a while since we've seen homegrown talent really produce at that position. And, you know, even with all the offensive line issues that have plagued these Sooners the last couple of seasons, most of the blame for the lack of the running game has been put on Murray's shoulders. Although some of the louder voices have also called for Bill Bedenbaugh to be replaced as well, which to me, that's crazy talk. But that's a topic for another show. Nonetheless, Sooner Nation now gets to experience life without DeMarco Murray on the staff. But that being said, program also gets the opportunity to make another big time hire. And that's what they get in Deland McCullough, the new running backs coach for the Sooners. Most recently, this cat was with the Raiders, coaching up Ashton Genty. He also worked with the aforementioned Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame. McCullough also served time as USC's running back coach in 2017. And then he was with those Kansas City Chiefs, winning Super Bowl 54 with those Chiefs. And in 2020 at the NFL Scouting Combine was named the NFL's running back coach of the year. So that seems like it's a win to me. This dude's got college experience and he's got NFL experience, and he's done both at the highest level. And sometimes, regardless of who the coaches are, the message gets stale. So I'm not saying that was the case with DeMarco Murray, but for whatever reason, the production was not there the last few seasons, or I should say the production that was expected the last few seasons. Like I said, the line's been banged up, but you see other schools figure out a way to run the rock. And when this team really needed to do it, they were not able to. Is it a scheme thing? Is it a fit thing? Is it a coaching thing? What is it? We're going to find out. With Coach McCullough coming in, he's going to have the reins to this, and that's pretty exciting. Both of his sons spent a little time, had a cup of coffee with the Sooners, but they have both bounced, going other places. But he's had ties to the program, not the traditional ties that we've seen with the last few hires, but ties nonetheless. And good news for the Sooners. 2027 commit Jackson Stokes says he isn't going anywhere. Quote, I'm still fully committed to OU. I chose the university and the staff before I did one single person, end quote. So that's good news. And when Coach McCullough comes in, he's like, yeah, I've done it in college. Oh, I've done it in the pros too. Here's my Super Bowl ring. That's exciting for the players. That's exciting for me. But these recruits coming in, I think it's going to sell. So that's not one, not two, but three new coaches. That's a deep cut, people. If you got it, good on ya. So let's recap. Sooner Nation wanted Jon Finley gone. No production at that position the last few years. Not what was expected. They're bringing this cat, Jason Witten, who's one of the best to ever do it in the NFL. Soon to be Hall of Fame coach. He's got, or Hall of Fame player, Texas high school coach, took a program to the state championship. He's got a 5-star recruit son that is now eyeballing the Sooners. And it's not like Witten was ever the most gifted physically, but he would work harder than you all the time. And this dude loves football. And now when a tight end recruit is thinking about the Sooners, oh, let's introduce you to our tight ends coach, former Dallas Cowboy, future Hall of Famer, Jason Witten. He'll get you to the league. That's a win. Lamar Morgan replaces Jay Valai. Coach Valai, awesome recruiter, great position coach. Lamar comes from a program, been putting players in the NFL too. one of the most dominant defenses the last couple of years. Hopefully that translates as well. And then Coach McCullough replaces DeMarco Murray. Two of these three positions not getting the production that they wanted. The exception to that is the cornerbacks room because it is stocked and loaded and one of the best units in the country. But for an offense that's not been producing like we've been used to, 40 points a game, just dominating everybody, haven't gotten that run game going, definitely have not gotten anything out of the tight end position. Replacing both of those coaches, both of the new coaches with NFL ties. One a future Hall of Famer, one a Super Bowl champ. For losing three prominent position coaches in one offseason, Coach BV and Nagy, Swaggy Nagy, doing work, people. I mean, I don't think they could have done a better job. It's been an amazing job they've done replacing the departed. Only one of us had to die, and with me, it tends to be the other guy. Another deep cut, people. I love all these hires. Personally, as a Cowboys fan, it is hard to top getting Jason Witten as being where Stoke levels are, but I feel great about all three of these hires, man. I'd love to see what BV is continuing to do, molding this program, bringing in the most talented people. It's constantly evolving. It's not only the coaches, it's the staff, it's the type of player, it's the type of person. It's everything. It's all encompassing. And I think the future of this program is very bright. High expectations coming into the new season. Speaking of staff and evolution, the Joe C era has finally come to an end, and the Roger Denny era has officially begun. Denny said on social media, "Humbled to follow a true legend in our business. What a remarkable career and legacy. You left it better than you found it, and we will all be forever grateful for your leadership and impact. Enjoy a well-earned retirement." If the program hit the kind of home run with Denny as they did with Joe C., we are in good hands, people. We got a lot into that in the last episode, so if you didn't listen, go back and check it out. I've got a bunch of thoughts on Denny and Joe C., but Joe C. does leave behind a big-time legacy, not only at the University of Oklahoma, but on college athletics overall. And on his last weekend as the AD, the baseball team, 3-0 in Arlington. Softball team went 5-0. Men's hoops, a win over Georgia. And the Lady Sooners beat number 23, Alabama. Not a bad way to go out, Josie. Put on that little fedora and ride into the sunset, my brother. That's the way to go out. Speaking of going out, 10 former Sooners. No, 10 Sooners. We talk about it. You're always a Sooner. Once a Sooner, always a Sooner. But 10 Sooners will be participating in the NFL Combine coming up next week. Receiver Deion Burks, tight end Jaron Kanik, offensive lineman Fabeche Inewu, defensive tackle Grayson Halton, defensive end Marvin Jones Jr., defensive end R. Mason Thomas, defensive tackle Dominic Williams, linebackers Kendall Daniels and Owen Heineke. I hope Heineke continues to fight, brother. Lawyer up and get that eligibility. And then, of course, defensive back RSJ, Robert Spears, Jennings. I don't know if Heineke participates in the combine, if that means that's a wrap on him challenging the eligibility thing. And since he does have a future in the NFL, I don't know what he and his family's decision will be. Selfishly, I want to see him come back. Such a dynamic player and only really scratching the surface of what he can be. He'll continue to develop and he'll be a good player in the NFL, but I'd rather see him be a great player at OU this year and then go to the NFL with another year of polishing. But I'm not sure what the status of that is, but for our sake, I hope he does come back because he is really starting to show. And, you know, I'm not sure any of these cats can sneak up into the first round. If anybody does, I think R. Mason Thomas has a good shot of being at the tail end of the first round there. And, you know, Grayson Halton was tremendous at the Senior Bowl and really came on, had a great 2025 season. Somebody is going to get a dynamite player in that dude. And I don't know if he can sneak up there too, but, you know, as long as you get drafted by a team, it's all good. Even if you have to go the undrafted free agent route, it's still all good. But I think most of these cats, if not all of them, will get drafted. But I'm almost positive that they'll all wind up on an NFL roster. So it'll be fun to watch these guys, see what they do at the combine. Hopefully they all make some money and, you know, earn an invite, earn a draft pick from one of these 32 teams. So we have 10 Sooners competing in the combine. And then up next will be OU's Pro Day. And as it gets a little bit closer to March 12th, maybe we will get a full list of the participants. One player we do know who will be there, Keontez Lewis, is already making the rounds, meeting with a bunch of NFL teams. He will be at the Pro Day. Runs a 4.4 40, 6'3", 197 pounds, NFL size, NFL speed. Unfortunately, he was never able to fully make it back after that brutal injury he sustained running into the brick wall during the Kent State game the first week of October. I mean, he did make it back and played some snaps after that, but he never got back to that form after that game. And that's a total bummer because he was really starting to build up a dynamic combination with Mateer. He was becoming a go-to guy, especially on some big third downs. And I think he would have had a lot more to offer the team all season long had he been able to come back from that just brutal injury. Like I said, NFL build, and I believe he'll also get an opportunity. Maybe he has to go the undrafted free agent route, but I do believe an NFL team will take a chance on him. Hopefully it's a draft pick, but nonetheless, hopefully he gets a shot. Hopefully all our Sooners get a shot, man. It'll be good. But I always have a big but, and I cannot lie every show. Even before the NFL draft arrives, there is another event taking place. And at the top of the show, I promised you Stoke, and Stoke you shall receive. It is the return of the OU Spring Game. April 18th, 2026. The Spring Game is back, people. Last year, OU Brass experimented with a fun-filled fan fest. Not a full flop, but it did not deliver the juice that Sooner Nation has come to crave in the springtime when we are thirsty for any Oklahoma Sooner football we can get. And the spring game will be our first taste of that said Oklahoma Sooner football juice. And we need to taste that juice because that disappointing taste of that disappointing collapse that was the college football playoff is the last memory we have of Oklahoma football from last season. What was it? 3rd and 3. If X-Rob catches that or Mateer keeps it and goes, who knows what happened? I mean, Indiana ended up kicking the shit out of everyone, so maybe, but I would have liked to find out. I would have loved to be sitting in that Rose Bowl with the tickets I had watching that game, regardless of what happens. But you know what? We just got to move forward. Ain't no use in looking what's back there. Nothing's going to change. And if you're looking backwards, you might miss what's right in front of you. So we are moving forward. But moving forward on the tail of last season, expectations are sky high, people, as they should be. But expectations are the highest they've been in a long time. Got a ton of key personnel returning. Made some absolutely home run hires and needed positions for this coaching staff. We got John Mateer coming back. Kip Lewis is coming back. Got a lot of stuff dialed in. There's a ton of players we could read off, but we got the quarterback. Another year at OU. Man, I don't know if he was prepared for the scrutiny that came with that position. The standard that's been set there. We have been spoiled, people, the last 20 years. Come on. But now Mateer knows what it's like. And if he doesn't break his thumb, who knows what happens last year? Stays healthy a full season. Look at me falling victim into looking backwards again. Enough of that crap. We're looking forward. John's our guy moving into next year. I'm stoked about it. I'm stoked about all the returning players. I'm stoked about the new hires. Totally and completely stoked. The future of this program looks extremely bright. And we are going to get a full taste of said brightness on Saturday, April 18th. And I cannot wait. And I can also promise you, people, the 18th will be here before you know it. Trust. Until then, though, head on over to Believe.com. That's BLEAV.com. Go to shows. Type in Sooner State of Mind. That's Sooner State of Mind. And you are locked, my friends. We have a ton of great content. Every team, every topic, everywhere. Believe.com. If you want to watch Sooner State of Mind, head on over to YouTube. Search the Football Dudes. We are there, people. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's get a dialogue going. Hit us up on Twitter, Football Dudes LA. Got a ton of great content there too. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, people. Help me, help you, and let's build this thing into one beautiful collective consciousness of Sooner goodness, Sooner positivity, Sooner championships. I'm into it. Get into it, people. My name is Casey Mallon, and I am in a Sooner state of mind.